Disclaimer. Okay, so I'm going to read this to you, but I also am going to share with you what Dr. Hewlin said about Ho'oponopono not working. And I didn't realize Ho'oponopono didn't work. So I'm going to share what he says, Dr. Hewlin says, and what KR says about that. But the disclaimer has some good information in it. It's 2 paragraphs. I'm going to read you the second paragraph, and then we'll do a commentary and a review of the third book in this series. This is Blue Ice, Get to the Cleaning. Okay, disclaimer. The functioning of the Ho'oponopono process in conjunction with universal and cosmic laws is a direct experience between each individual, his or her own triune self, and the divinity, the I. Okay, and so in this sentence, the triune self would be considered the subconscious, conscious, and superconscious minds. Karma and divine providence must be the final arbiter of each one's application of the Ho'oponopono process. Each individual can only be a witness to his or her own personal healing, cleansing, and protections of body, mind, and spirit through the use of disciplines and processes herewith. The practice of proof of the Ho'oponopono process rests with the individual, as each may prove or disprove the power of Ho'oponopono for himself or herself. And not only that, but Ho'oponopono may work differently for you than it does for me. So that's what that was saying. But not only that, I've known Ho'oponopono to work by situation. So not only does it work by individual, but it works by situation. So let me give you an example. I tend to clear all the time without clearing for certain things, although I'm going to start cleaning ahead and clearing ahead for certain things. But let's just say 80% of the time I would just be cleaning. And so one time I heard something and it says, if you're lucky, you would be led to a restaurant and you'll be able to find $5 on the ground. And I was like, well, am I lucky? And I was thinking about that. And of course, I did Ho'oponopono throughout the day. And the next day, after I heard that statement, not only did I get invited to a restaurant, but after my meal, I went to the parking lot and found $100 on the ground. Now, so that happened. That's not to say that I'm always going to find money on the ground just because I do Ho'oponopono and maybe clear over being lucky or, clearing over money. So not only is it an individual process, but each result varies by situation. Plus, Ho'oponopono, with Ho'oponopono, you're clearing layers like an onion. Let's see what Dr. Hewlin says about Ho'oponopono not working. This is him talking, and these books were based on transcripts from a 62 series radio program. I believe it was 62 series. So these books are compilations by subject of the radio program transcripts. Okay, here's what Dr. Hewlin says. So when somebody says to me in class, I clean, but I don't feel any changes, my response is that as you clean, divinity makes changes, but you may not be aware of them. So if somebody says to you, KR, no matter how much I clean, I don't feel like it's working, what would you say in terms of the conscious mind and the subconscious mind? Before I give you her response, I also want to interject that you can ask questions of the universe. You can say, can you please show me that what I'm doing is working? And so, and be on the lookout within a day or so for answers of how Ho'oponopono is working. You may have nearly missed being in a car accident. If something does have to happen, the impact is softened versus if you didn't do Ho'oponopono, there could have been a greater impact. So those are some things to keep in mind as well. KR replies to Dr. Hewlin's question of what would you say in terms of the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. She says, you can clean with the thought and the experience that it isn't working. So I'm sorry, please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. I don't feel like this Ho'oponopono is working. Something to that effect. Apply a cleaning tool to that. That's number one. Secondly, part of the process is the relationship between the conscious and the subconscious minds. If the subconscious mind is stubborn, feels abused, or feels mistreated by the conscious mind, it won't do the cleaning. So you have to have a good relationship with your subconscious mind or the inner child. This relationship is so important. When we say, I knew you were calling on the phone, that's due to the relationship with the subconscious. Or when you say, oh, I'm glad to see you. I knew you were going to be here. Or, oh, I was thinking about you. I knew you would call today. These are examples of when the conscious and the subconscious minds are working together. To me, those are the magic times in life when I say, that's it. To get connected with the subconscious, I try to remember that it's like tuning a radio. This is the key to the Ho'oponopono process. And a lot of times, there's a difference between intuition and inspiration. Intuition comes from the subconscious mind. So thoughts or memories that you've had before. So for instance, you might get a bad vibe from someone. That's your subconscious mind because it's reminding you of a time when there was something specific about that person that is reminding you of when something bad happened in the past. Now, your subconscious mind can only go by past data and it's not going by inspiration. So sometimes you might get a bad vibe about someone, but that could be erroneous data. So keep that in mind. Okay, so that is it for the reading of this book. And I did make comments along the way. As far as my review or recommendation, yes, for me, this book is worth $19 plus the $9.99 shipping. Or if you feel like all the books would be worth it for you, you can get all the books and save on shipping. And I think the shipping was about $15, $15 or $19, and you get all 8 books. The books are small, so they fit in an envelope of a priority mail envelope. I used to have an eBay business, which I may open back up. But if you used to ship out things through the United States Post Office, the books will fit in an envelope, a priority mail envelope. So I don't know if that gives you the idea of the size, but if you feel like these books are of value, consider getting the whole bundle and save on shipping instead of buying one book here or there. So yeah, 5 out of 5 stars. There is a lot of information in this book that I didn't go over. The book itself is over 100 pages. So I would put it to about 50 or 60 pages of information. And the book is 5 by 7, I believe, when I did the measurements, 5 inches by 7 inches. And it's only 50 to 60 pages because on every other page there are call outs and it repeats the information. Okay, so if you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. That's it for this video. Bye.